How Shelby Sapp makes $5 million in only 1 month with her high-ticket online info product coaching business without doing Onlyfans. It's stupidly simple. Just copy here. If you're an online coach, an agency owner, or just clicked on the video because you saw a hot chick, this is exactly for you. We are going to funnel hack Shelby Sapp's proven $5 million money-making machine in only 3 steps and learn some unexpected lessons from one of the best in the game. We will simulate how she takes cold leads and converts them to hungry buyers willing to join her academy. At the end of the video, I will do some maths with you to show you that it's exactly true that she's doing that much. So make sure you keep watching. So let's put on the glasses, let's get nerdy and hop right in. Her $5 million money-making machine consists of 3 simple steps. Attention, interaction, transaction. Don't wonder why Russell Brunson is here. She's hosting a funnel on ClickFunnels. We're at the top of the funnel where she tries to capture a lead's attention in a noisy online world. Okay, insert any hot girl on IG. She has basically 3 organic traffic platforms: TikTok, YouTube, and IG. Instagram being her main traffic source. On Instagram, she has 2 accounts, her company's account and her main account. Her main account is also the main traffic source. She has around 937K exactly followers over there, labels herself as the #1 female sales trainer, and has a link for their webinar registration. More on that later. In her story highlight, she has only student wins 1, student wins 2, with around 130 story posts with 3 testimonials each from a different person. So around 400 student wins. This is creating massive social proof, which is fundamental for selling one-on-one high-ticket coaching. We're basically showing that others achieved it too, a lot of others, which means that ongoing customers will be able to do the same. Sell them on themselves. Robert Cialdini dedicates a huge chapter on this in his book Influence, very recommendable. So through this social proof, she basically shows us that her mechanism actually works for people that are in her ICP, in her ideal customer profile. Did I say ICP? Let's jump into my avatar conditioning blueprint to make us understand who she is actually selling to. How can you easily describe the ideal customer she's selling to? I describe them as a young American woman, tired of low-paying jobs or corporate grind, craving freedom, financial independence, and the boss babe Miami lifestyle. A bit cringe, but here you go. They scroll TikTok, IG for inspo, binge self-development, and secretly believe they are meant for more. Low to middle class background, college students, or early career professionals. They vibe unsure but ambitious, craving status, self-esteem, and the glow-up life. How would you describe your ideal customer in 5 words? Unsure girl chasing boss babe freedom. What main drivers will your offer fulfill for them? Survival needs, love, relationship. Here we can look at Maslow's pyramid of needs. I would say the main drivers for her ICP is esteem, self-esteem, status, legacy, and some self-actualization as well. Alright, what is the biggest outcome your ideal customer can achieve through your offer? From a broke barista, as herself, to a confident top 1% remote high-ticket closer making 10K a month. She's closing deals for info product high-ticket coaches from her laptop, sipping iced matcha latte, this one is important, in Miami. Flying to Tulum with her girlfriends, rocking the custom dresses and designer bags she always dreamed of. She's her own boss, no more slimy dudes telling her what to do. She's in control of her future, finally feels free. We've got some more stuff. What is the current situation right now? -1, stuck in a low-paying job, grinding away in an entry-level corporate role. Saves all the year to afford 1-shot vacation. Some more stuff. What is their big problem? Now, what is her big problem? What Shelby Sapp basically solving with her offer? Their big problem, or Shelby Sapp's unique mechanism, is remote high-ticket closing. So you've got any pain? You're stuck in a remote job, you don't making the money you want, you're not living the Miami girl lifestyle. It's because you don't know what high-ticket remote selling is good. Great, now that we know what her main ICP is, we can look at how she's attracting these actually, how she's targeting these. She's doing this through 3 short-form content styles. On IG mainly, lifestyle, likeness, and trust. Let's go into lifestyle first. These are mainly B-rolls, some viral videos with some nice music, showing her off, alright? She's actually living the Miami girl lifestyle here with her pink Porsche on a yacht in the Mediterranean. Some designer bags, some custom-made dresses, and she's living the exact dream life her ICP is dreaming of. She's showing it off. She has made it, okay? This is exactly, she's really a master of targeting. This is exactly speaking to the esteem role here, okay? To the esteem level on the pyramid of needs. She's targeting the leads on a very broad level of the funnel, on a very broad awareness level, trying to capture their main attention, trying to make some viral content, okay? We've got to see over here again, the Miami lifestyle Mediterranean. Great, the next thing she's doing is likeness. And as Robert Cialdini says, people prefer to say yes to those that they like. And I think of all the things we're going to cover in this video, this is the most impressive one and the one you should note down, make some notes on this chapter. This is important. Well, how she's addressing likeness in her videos. Just look at this, okay? She's showing videos of her being very human, doing some jokes about herself. She's so awkward, LOL. showing a mansion tour of a mansion in Florida, storyline from insecure sorority girl to an 8-hour barista, and then to an entry-level sales rep selling basically bug spray, I think, door to door. Damn, that should be hard. To a sales manager later, and at the end to her position as a remote sales coach. All right. So storytelling is massively powerful. She basically is creating a lot of relatability, showing off the exact situation she was in, that most of her ideal customers are in right now, right? Videos of her crying in her situation. And she got out of there. She's also using a lot of familiar language. So when we're looking at the 11 variables of liking over there, we see, for example, familiarity and consistency, very important. And here we have some familiar language. Hot girls learn says, housewife era, Pilates, fake bees, broke bees, frick those uni professors, true, crush it in high ticket sales, wine night with your girls, all right? She's really creating the exact vibe her ICP is talking like, all right? And of course, guys, most of the people are forgetting this. She's highly attractive, I would say. Like, for most of the people, she's an attractive woman. As Robert Cialdini says also, attractiveness and confidence is a huge, huge selling factor. Great. And the third form of content is trust and value building content. She's basically showing some talking head, selfie type videos, doing objection handling in sales. Very important stuff. For example, what do you do if people say, I'm going to think about it, I'm going to sleep about it. She's showing off the mechanism, selling them on the mechanism again, like high ticket sales work. Sales is the highest paying industry in the world. Also talking a bit to the dreams, showing that she's made it and she's sitting in her ICP's dream car. Just realize this. This is like a soft flex, you know, and doing a podcast on some live selling situation. So she's basically showing off her authority. And with this, she's building some more trust, sharing some professionalism and skill, and pushing down the leads a bit down the funnel. All right. And as I said this, she just does this mainly with talking head videos, okay, without any flashy cuts, without any flashy colors or viral songs, really building trust. This is the main focus here. Well, she also has her company's account over there, the She Sells Academy, all right, where she has some ManyChat automation, another registration link, some social proof, basically doing similar stuff as on her main account, a day in the life, creating more social trust in the dream life, relatability, warmth, trust, authenticity, showing off her team members, giving a face to the names, and basically she is selling them on the mechanism, remote high ticket sales, sells them on her as an authority. I made company millions as a sales manager, and sells them on themselves. Shelby did it as a barista with no knowledge, doing $8 a day, and she made it to a fucking millionaire with 23. I can do it too. All right, and sales is the mechanism. On TikTok, she's doing very similar things as on IG without that much traffic. And yeah, one weak point I have to stress in her content system is definitely her YouTube account. She barely has 10,000 subscribers over there and around 5 videos. This is far too less. She doesn't even have a webinar registration link in her description, so fix that, okay? I don't know why she's neglecting that hard on it, because YouTube is fundamentally important for building trust with your audience, okay? Trust in yourself, because how do you think that a customer would trust you if you're posting 60-second videos on Instagram? Of course, she's doing a webinar later, building some more trust, but you could do it on YouTube too. Also, YouTube content lasts 11 times longer than the general Instagram content, and YouTube followers have a lot more money. The platform mechanism is important. YouTube is much more about educational content and not that much OnlyFans and TikTok dances. As Ravi Abuela says, do YouTube. Okay. Now that was her warm traffic, but besides that, she's also running around 90 ads for driving cold traffic to her funnel. Now it gets interesting, okay? We either click the link on her bio, text her something, get a link in the ManyChat automation, or click on a link through her ads. And then we will be sent to a webinar registration page, but not one, okay? There are 2. One for cold traffic, all right, where she's running a cold webinar for cold traffic exclusively, and one for organic traffic. This is highly interesting. Okay, let's get first into the webinar registration page for cold traffic. This one is a bit different from the one for organic traffic, of course, and she's running this webinar every 24 hours. These here are automated recordings, so no live webinar where she's taking part herself, but these ones are more scalable. Okay, this is exactly what you're doing with ads, scaling your webinars, but lacking a bit of trust, okay, because she's not there. Why does she do webinars every 24 hours for her cold traffic? Because they need to be nurtured as soon as possible, all right? They don't know her, they don't trust her, and they don't necessarily like her. So she needs to nurture them quickly, and that's exactly what she's doing with her cold webinar. Let's get into the webinar registration page for her organic traffic, and this is highly important. Just look at the first thing we see on her page. This is basically a timer creating visual FOMO plus urgency, fear of missing out when her next webinar starts. She's creating visual urgency through this. Here we have the above the fold. So what we see actually when we click on her page, this will be the above the fold over there, all right? So we will get a free live masterclass, okay? Free, live, decreasing the effort and the sacrifice through Alex Hormozi's value equation. She will also give us the mechanism, And plus the dream outcome, we have it over here. All right, plus a mechanism, increasing the perceived likelihood, increasing the value. She says that she will be breaking down the industry that allows the ladies some proof plus familiarity, they can do it too, to work from anywhere. All right, this is also the dream outcome, work from anywhere and anywhere, right? That's easy, decreasing the effort and the sacrifice and creating a whole lot of value over there. Here's her call to action, save my free spot, and of course the date. I like this one too, because she's doing some relatability with this heart emojis over there. I mean, girls like heart emojis. Did you ever text one to a girl? They liked it. All right, you're going to learn all this doing her bullet points basically through heart emojis because of her ICP, as we learned earlier. She's hosting them on ClickFunnels. I think Russell Brunson will like that. All right, here she's basically calling out what we will get. A hidden sales role. She's creating some curiosity through this. Okay, perfect for women who crave control over their life. Dream life. We have some new age of sales, big emotion, and 5 steps, which making it very, very easy to follow them along. Her framework, again, seems like a working system, making it easy, and some belief breaking. Even if you're new to sales, as she was, you can do it. Some urgency, C3, now is the best time to take action. She's also doing some qualifying over here to not waste her sales reps' time and to decrease the cost per qualified lead. What I find very interesting here on this page is how she's using it. I find it highly interesting how she's using these colors, right? Subconsciously, we have the pink color for her qualified girls, the hot girls, and a more masculine looking color for disqualifying them again, all right? Yeah, here we have some meet the speaker, some authenticity, relatability, and dream outcome, and another CTA. Then we're getting to a registration page through an opt-in page where she's basically capturing our data, doing some CRM integration. Okay, this data will be integrated in her CRM. She will be tagging the leads, and later her setters and email automation will be able to target us. Here we have basically the confirmation page, a thank you page, all right? A special message from me. Shows she's making us feeling special again. She's explaining us the next steps. Okay, check your inbox, also your spam. Creating some FOMO, this is going to change your life, and some authenticity through her signature. A 1-minute video, 1 minute and 30 seconds, hosted on Vimeo. Right, now she's pushed us even further down the funnel. Now she's got to sell the show up to the webinar, okay? And she will be doing this through normally 3 steps. Through automated value-dense email sequences. All right, play your kit. Normally she will be sending around up to 15 mails, reminders every 24 hours, 8 hours, 6 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, and on launch time, and an SMS automation. Here's some of her mails. She's really hammering the shit out of us. She will also do some manual follow-up through her setters reaching out through selfie videos. Okay, they will be saying, hey, you got a webinar coming up. You need anything, any questions? She will do some personalized DMs, messages, and some pre-calls as well. Then she will be using also Jeremy Haynes, the GOAT's hammer them content strategy. She will be hammering us through a high-value, dense content sequence. Yeah, and then, of course, on all of these steps, from the registration to the webinar, we could have a potential drop-off, and we will have a drop-off. Then it's the webinar day. The webinar is starting, okay? And how will she structure this? Normally, she will do around a 1-hour high-value upfront, around 50 minutes, okay? And then she will do 15 minutes FAQ. After this, she will transition smoothly to the offer. Normally doing something like, as you have learned already, high ticket sales is the shit for girls nowadays. And I've got a paid program for this, okay? You will get course registration, one-on-one access with me, and the best, biggest community of women doing sales. Does it sound fair for you if I transition to a short offer pitch? Just comment a 1 in the chat, okay, if it will be fair. And she will see a whole lot of 1s in the chat and transition to the offer pitch. She's promising us to be one of the top 1% sales reps, some access to the sales course, weekly IWIPE coaching, one-on-one expert coaching sessions, and access to the best all-women sales platform ever. Yeah, what I find very interesting that she's actually selling us placement software. So she's promising us to get placed at our dream coaches industry, okay? And I think that's true because she also has a ManyChat automation for people who are hiring closers. After the offer pitch, I'll link into the chat with a link to her type form, and this will be the transition into her call funnel. On the type form, she will do some qualification again, basically decreasing the cost per qualified lead, some financial qualification, like how much would you be able to invest? Under $500, just qualified. And she will also, very important, increase the perceived offer value. People who are exactly qualified, so her ICP is generally able to generate a lot of more value through her offer. Her offer will be much more valuable to them. Again, we have some potential drop-off points. We have a Calendly over here where people will be able to schedule a call. She's also limiting the next day, so we just see 2 days available here. This is highly interesting because she's using the momentum she has, because the leads are hot and she doesn't want them to turn cold again. Also doing some scarcity, limiting the days. And now she has to sell up the show up again, the show up to the Zoom call in this case. Again, doing the same exact strategy with some potential drop-off points as in every of these friction stages. What's highly interesting is that her own students are now closing. So this is the maximum proof of her program. This is a huge authority and relatability. On each of the drop-off points through the whole funnel, there will be the opportunity to do follow-ups, to re-engage people, which is very recommendable. You can normally re-engage leads around, I don't know, 30%. And after this, we finally reached, hopefully, a close. Normally, her customers will be able to do some funding methods as well, 0 interest plans, I think, and she has a lot of payment plans, okay? And she sells it for 5K, all right? We have a happy Shelby Sapp. You're certainly asking yourself, great, man, all right, I got this funnel, but how the fuck is she able to make $5 million on this? Are you using clickbait? No. I'm still being very humble, okay? Let me show you why. I know that her regular webinars have around 4,000 participants, which is a lot. The normal webinars retention rate would be around 70%. I'm using numbers from Jeremy Haynes here, so I think they have some proof. So this would be around 2.8K pitched leads, okay? Her conversion rate is around 25% normally, okay? So all the leads that get converted to book calls. So we would have around 700 qualified book calls. Assuming a 70% show-up rates, this would be around 490 show-ups to the Zoom calls. Assuming a 30% close rates, and just memorize, this is a fucking sales program. So I think her closes are good and her sellers are good at what they are doing, okay? So assuming this close rate, we would have around 150 closes, okay? Great. So assuming an offer price of 5K, we will have around 735,000, revenue per webinar, okay? Now assuming a re-engagement rate, very humble, of 20%, we will have around 882,000 overall revenue collected per webinar. Now she's doing this weekly, so 4 webinars per month, okay? This will be around 3.5 million with her warm webinars per month revenue, okay? Warm webinars are generally this stuff where you're dialing in your whole process, where you're dialing in the webinar, where you're dialing in what works, you're figuring it out, okay? So you can later scale. So basically you're collecting some cash, then spending a lot on ads, and I don't know her exact numbers, and I would really have to know her ad spend, her retention rates, her show-up rates to her call to webinars. We can normally assume that all of the stats will be much lower because we don't have that much trust, okay? But still, she will be able to scale this through a huge ad spend, and she will create an even bigger revenue through this, okay? Scaling starts here. And I don't know how much she makes through this. It might even be more than through her warm webinars, okay? Because she's doing this stuff fucking daily. So we're easily over 5 million, and she might even be doing more, okay? This is how Shelby Sapp makes 5 million in 1 month. If you're a coach, if you're an agency owner, if you're just wanting to connect with me or want me to scale your business, comment below.